How can a young person who was abandoned as a baby find the path to justice and self-acceptance? This is the question that echoes in Lucas's life. Since his parents left him at an orphanage, he learned to cope with the pain of rejection and the daily struggle to overcome his limitations. With a motor disability, Lucas felt like a bird trapped in a cage. However, his determination and desire to be someone in life drove him to seek education and support, even in a hostile environment. The orphanage where Lucas grew up was not a welcoming place. The walls were cold, and often he felt invisible among the other boys. However, a local NGO became his safe haven. With the support of mentors and friends, Lucas found the strength to study and dream of a better future. He wanted to be a lawyer, not just to earn the respect of society, but to fight for those who, like him, were invisible and helpless. This dream became his light in the darkness. As the years passed, Lucas graduated in law, defying all expectations. He became a fervent advocate for the rights of people with disabilities, using his voice to impact the lives of many. However, his greatest challenge was yet to come. One day, his parents, who had abandoned him, tried to reconnect, but not out of love. They wanted the money he had earned through his hard work. The news shook Lucas, bringing to the surface wounds from the past that he thought he had overcome. The internal conflict grew, and Lucas found himself faced with a painful choice: to fight for justice or to be consumed by anger. After much reflection, he decided to take a stand. With courage, he sued his own parents, not only to protect his legacy but also to assert his worth as an individual. The legal battle was intense, and the pain of betrayal accompanied him every step of the way. Finally, Lucas won the dispute. Justice brought not only a legal victory, but also a profound understanding of himself. He chose to forgive his parents, but he would never forget what he had been through. This experience shaped his life and transformed him into a symbol of resilience. Lucas not only carved out his place in the world, he became an example that true strength lies in accepting the past and moving forward while always keeping dignity intact. Lucas always knew that his journey would not be easy. Since he was little, the feeling of being discarded accompanied him like a constant shadow. In the orphanage, children would play, but Lucas would pull away, watching from a distance, wondering if one day someone would choose him. Even in the face of pain and rejection, he found in education a way to break free. The path to becoming a lawyer was filled with obstacles, but Lucas did not let himself be defeated. The NGO that took him in was a place where he felt secure. There, he met Anna, a young volunteer who became an invaluable friend. Anna saw incredible potential in Lucas and always encouraged him to fight for his dreams. She believed he could change the world, even when he sometimes doubted himself. Together, they faced the daily challenges, and with each academic victory, Lucas felt closer to his goal. However, Lucas's life was not made up only of achievements. The motor disability that had accompanied him since birth brought physical challenges that constantly tested him. The stairs of the orphanage were a true challenge, and he often found himself frustrated for not being able to keep up with simple activity. Each small victory, like climbing a step, became a reason to celebrate, but also a reminder of what he still needed to overcome. After graduating in law, Lucas began working at a law firm that defended the rights of people with disabilities. He felt fulfilled, but the pressure and emotional burden were immense. While fighting for justice for others, he found himself sinking into his own fears and insecurities. The weight of responsibility made him question whether he was truly capable of making a difference. Doubt began to erode his confidence. At that moment, an unexpected twist happened. His parents, who had abandoned him, reappeared in his life. They did not come with apologies or love, but with a proposal that left Lucas in shock. They wanted a part of the money he had earned with so much effort. The betrayal of the past resurfaced like a ghost he thought he had exorcised. Lucas felt torn, The anger and pain he had tried to overcome returned with full force. What should have been an opportunity for a fresh start turned into a nightmare. The pressure mounted, and he found himself in an internal conflict between the desire for revenge and the need for justice. Anna's advice echoed in his mind, but the pain clouded his reason. Meanwhile, his friendship with Anna began to be tested. She wanted him to focus on what truly mattered: his career and his struggle. Her lack of understanding about the intensity of the pain Lucas felt pushed him away. He began to feel isolated, as if he were fighting a battle alone. This distance between them created misunderstandings and moments of tension that threatened to crumble the friendship that meant so much to him. In the midst of the emotional turmoil, Lucas decided he needed to. He sued his parents, not only to protect what he had earned, but to assert his dignity. The decision was painful and filled with uncertainties, but he knew he could not let the past dominate. The legal battle was intense, and with each hearing, the pain of betrayal accompanied him like a shadow. He felt vulnerable, exposed, and questioned whether he had truly made the right decision. Throughout all these difficulties, Lucas found support in other friends from the NGO, who were also fighting for their rights. One of them, Pedro, a young man with hearing impairment who faced daily prejudices, became a loyal friend. Together they exchanged experiences, fears, and hope. Their friendship became an anchor amid the chaos, showing Lucas that he was not alone in the fight. As time passed, the legal battle began to intensify. Lucas had to face not only his parents, but also a system that often failed to protect the most vulnerable. Difficulties piled up, and the emotional pressure began to affect his mental health. He had sleepless nights, moments of despair, and questions about his worth. The fight for justice turned into a test of endurance, and Lucas found himself at his breaking point. In a moment of desperation, he decided to open up to Anna, revealing his insecurities and fears. To his surprise, she listened to him attentively and empathetically, showing that she was by his side. This dialogue became a turning point in their relationship. Lucas realized that he didn't need to fight alone, and that vulnerability was also a form of strength. The legal battle came to an end, and Lucas finally won. The victory brought not only the confirmation of his worth, but also a new understanding of forgiveness. He realized that the anger he felt toward his parents would not protect him. On the contrary, it only kept him stuck in the past. Forgiveness became a powerful choice, allowing him to move forward with dignity. Looking back, Lucas saw not only a young man who overcame adversity, but a man who, through the struggle, discovered the true meaning of justice and acceptance. He was no longer a bird trapped in a cage, but a free being, ready to soar high and help others find their own wings. Lucas was in a moment of calm after the legal victory. He had managed to set boundaries with his parents and, in a way, had regained control of his life. The feeling of freedom was new and invigorating. However, this tranquility did not last long. One day, while walking to the office, he received a call that would change everything again. It was Anna, his friend and confidante, with devastating news. She had been diagnosed with a serious illness. The news hit Lucas like a weight on his shoulders. He felt his heart race, and a wave of despair enveloped him. How could he face another battle, this time with someone so close to him? The thought of losing Anna was unimaginable. He remembered all the moments they had shared, how she had always been by his side, encouraging him not to give up. Now, he found himself in a position where he needed to be her strength. In the days that followed, Lucas found himself struggling with a new wave of emotion. Anna's fragile health made him question everything he had achieved. He wondered if it was really worth fighting for justice and rights, when life could be so cruel and unpredictable. The insecurities he had overcome resurfaced like ghosts from the past, whispering doubts in his mind. Lucas felt powerless, as if, despite his efforts, he could not protect the people he loved most. Anna's situation became a race against time. Lucas dedicated himself to accompanying her to medical appointments, studying her condition, and seeking treatments that could help. However, as the weeks went by, he noticed that Anna's struggle was not just physical but emotional. She felt scared, alone, and hopeless. And even though Lucas tried to be the support she needed, He felt lost in his own fear. The conversations that used to be lighthearted became heavy, and the friendship that once seemed unbreakable began to feel the pressure. In a moment of despair, while they were walking through a park, Anna stopped and looked into Lucas's eyes. "I don't want you to feel like you have to be strong for me," she said. Her voice choked. "I need you to be with me, to feel all of this too. I don't want you to feel obligated to carry this weight alone." Her words hit Lucas like a punch to the stomach. He realized that he had been so focused on being Anna's anchor that he had forgotten to take care of himself. This moment of vulnerability made him reflect on his own battle. Lucas realized that, by trying to be strong for Anna, he was neglecting his own emotions and pain. He remembered how he had faced his demons in the past and how vulnerability was not weakness but a form of strength. Determined not to let the situation consume him, he began to talk about his own fears and insecurities. He shared with Anna the pain of having faced his parents' betrayal, the struggle to assert himself as a lawyer, and the weight he felt in his responsibilities. The conversation transformed into a space for healing for both of them. Anna began to understand that Lucas also needed support, and together, they started to face the situation in a more collaborative manner. Their friendship grew stronger, and the pain that had once isolated them now united them in a deeper bond. They both realized that their fight was not just individual, but a shared journey. With a new perspective, Lucas committed himself to finding ways to help Anna face her illness. He organized fundraising campaigns for treatments and became an active advocate for the cause, using his experience as a lawyer to help others facing similar challenges. This new vision of his life and purpose brought a new meaning to what it meant to be successful. He realized that true wealth was not just in his accomplishments, but in the ability to connect, support, and love. The emotional impact of this new phase was profound. Lucas felt stronger and more capable of facing the challenges life threw at him. He learned that, even in the face of the worst adversities, there was always room for hope and solidarity. And as he walked alongside Anna, he finally understood that life is made up of ups and downs, but it is in love and friendship that we find the strength to keep fighting. Lucas found himself facing a new challenge that would test not only his strength, but also his ability to connect with others. After receiving the devastating news about Anna's health, he realized that his journey of overcoming was far from over. His friend's battle against the illness brought to light not only his desire to protect her, but also his own insecurities and fears. He dedicated himself to being by Anna's side, accompanying her to medical appointments and researching treatments. However, as the weeks went by, Lucas realized that his attempt to be strong for her was becoming a burden. He was so focused on being the anchor that he forgot that he also needed support. This led him to a moment of reflection when Anna, in a moment of vulnerability, encouraged him to share his own pains. In that instant, Lucas understood that true strength did not lie in carrying the weight of the world alone, but in allowing others to help him bear that load. He began to speak about his own struggles, revealing the scars left by his parents' betrayal and the pressure he felt in his career. This exchange of vulnerabilities transformed their friendship, allowing them to support each other instead of feeling isolated in their battles. With this new perspective, Lucas began to act more proactively. He not only became an advocate for Anna's cause, but also started to see his role in the lives of others facing similar challenges. Organizing fundraising campaigns and using his experience as a lawyer, he found a new purpose in fighting for justice and support for those in need. This shift in focus made Lucas realize that true success was not just in professional achievements, but in the ability to make a difference in someone's life. As he faced these adversities, Lucas also began to reconnect with himself. He learned to accept his flaws and see the beauty in imperfections. This personal transformation brought a new wisdom that reflected in his relationships with the world around him. He became a more present, empathetic friend, more aware of the needs of others. His friendship with Anna became a symbol of growth and overcoming. Together, they faced difficulties, and this journey united them in a profound way. Lucas, now more mature and strengthened, realized that the lessons learned throughout this experience were not just about struggle and pain, but about love, solidarity, and the strength that comes from vulnerability. He was ready to face future challenges, not just as a lawyer, but as a human being who understood the importance of being present, of loving, and of allowing himself to be loved. Lucas was in a cloudy day, the weather reflecting the storm that was forming inside him. Anna's appointment had been a true nightmare. The doctor had talked about the progression of the disease, and the words echoed in his mind, heavy as lead. The uncertainty of the future left Lucas distressed, and he felt as if he were on the edge of an abyss, not knowing if he could take a step forward. Anna, on the other hand, tried to remain calm. With a fragile smile, she looked at Lucas and said, "I need you, but you also need to take care of yourself." That phrase cut like a knife. He realized that in trying to be strong, he was losing himself. The tears he had held back began to flow, and he could not contain the avalanche of emotions. "I'm scared, Anna. Scared of losing you. Scared of not being enough," Lucas confessed, his voice trembling. Anna, still fragile, held his hand. Strength is not in not feeling fear, but in facing it together. Those words were a spark in his mind. Lucas realized that vulnerability was not weakness, but a bridge that united them. He didn't have to be the anchor all the time. He could be a friend, someone who also needed support. In that instant, the decision was clear. He decided that he would not fight alone. Together they would form a team, sharing the weight of uncertainties and the hope for better days. Lucas smiled, a genuine smile reflecting the new understanding he had found. He was no longer just fighting for Anna. He was fighting with her. Their journey, though filled with challenges, would become a story of friendship, overcoming, and transformative love. And Lucas knew that regardless of what happened, they would face everything together. Lucas felt light. By deciding to share his insecurities with Anna, he not only supported her, but also found a new path for himself. Together, they faced the challenges that the illness brought, creating a stronger and deeper bond. Lucas realized that true strength lay in accepting fear and fragility, and this transformed him. He learned that sometimes vulnerability is the first step to overcoming. Over time, Anna's treatment began to show results. They celebrated small victories and supported each other on difficult days. Their friendship became a beacon, illuminating even the darkest moments. Lucas understood that love and friendship have immense transformative power, and this journey made them grow as individuals. Looking back, he felt grateful for every tear and every smile. He knew that life was precious, and that together they could face any. Hope blossomed in their hearts. And Lucas smiled, knowing that regardless of what came, they would always be together. Now, we invite you to reflect on your own experience. How do you deal with fear and vulnerability in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this story touched your heart, like and subscribe for more inspiring and transformative stories. Your interaction is essential for us to continue bringing content that makes a difference.